Hi, hello. This is going to be a video for the sign of Scorpio. I appreciate your patience as I get these videos out. I'm just kind of stuck on what I want to start with here. Scorpio, I definitely feel big time transitional energy, like you're in the process of going from one space to another. Might not be the most comfortable thing that you've ever experienced in your life. Could have to do with a family situation, like you could have found something out about the dynamic in your family or something relating to your family that kind of just shook the foundational core. I just saw 55 when I said that, so it's definitely some big changes, especially surrounding the foundation. You guys also could be experiencing, like, as much as it might be I almost just said disturbing, like, as much as, like, the shift might feel like it's disturbing some type of peace, like, you're gonna be set free from something. The initial, like the letter W, is actually standing out to me. Somebody could be in the process of growing something too, like learning how to grow, to cultivate something of that nature. So you actually have serendipity. So this speaks to me on quite a level, especially with this card here. Serendipity. So you're going with the flow gracefully. That's why I feel like I keep getting pulled back to, like, how I said earlier, where, like, something is disturbing the foundation, but, like, there's something positive in it where it's like a release. It's a release of some type that you're going to be experiencing, and you're going to feel at a flow with it. Like, you're not going to feel like you are forcing anything. Like, you're actually just feeling as if you're free to, like, just be is really what it's coming down to. Like, you're feeling free to just be whomever it is that you want to be, do whatever it is that you want to do. You're being freed from some type of energy here. That's for sure. That is for sure. So there's an awareness of some type of, like, synchronicity too. There's some type of an awareness that's going on. You're seeing signs and symbols and magic. Like, you're seeing the magic in everyday life. You're seeing the magic in being able to do whatever it is that you do. You're seeing the magic take place right in front of your eyes, of, like, things releasing and, like, the old structures crumbling down for something to release. You're gaining some type of a new perspective here. Like, you're gaining something out of this, which is extremely positive. It's extremely positive. You've stepped into alignment with, like, the greater good of, like, wherever your dreams are taking you. Like, you're listening to your intuition. You're resonating with a vibrational frequency of just being in harmony with yourself and with the people around you. Like, you're just in this harmonious energy where you just feel free. So, like, you might actually be, like, realizing something about yourself, as in, like, you're realizing more about yourself, as in, like, a domino effect. Like, you're realizing that your actions create a reaction, and the things that you do reflect back from what people do in response to what you do. Like, it's really, really hard for me to put this into words because there's such a flow and such a transformation to this. So you're in the process of like learning how to live in the moment, learning how to be present in the moment. Like this is very scorpionic energy, believe it or not. Like you're learning how to just be content with being at ease. Like I'm just hearing at ease. Like you're at ease with whatever is going on, past, present, future. Like you're sitting stationed right where you need to be in the time frame that you need to be at. Like there's something, like my card just like squeaked. That was so weird. Like that was so strange. I've never heard my card squeak like that when I went to grab it. You're learning how to be present. There's like doorways and opportunities that are opening up, and it's up to you to create it. Like you're going to have some type of burst of passion, burst of energy. Like you're going to be set free from something. I can't escape that. Like you're stepping into like good karma, meaning like you're going to be rewarded for something that you've been working on for a very, very long time. Like you're getting a gift from the universe, and like and it's not going to be a physical gift. Like you might not even like recognize it when it happens, but it could be like an emotional release, a vision of clarity, a vision of like your future. Like there's something that comes through that you're going to be able to put all the pieces of the puzzle together for you. And it involves being in the present moment, living your life in the present moment, not thinking too far ahead in the future, but what are you doing today? Because what are you doing today is what matters, not what you did yesterday or 10 years ago. What you're doing right now is what is going to be affected. And it's like there was a lesson in all of this of learning how to just be in the present moment. Like there was a huge lesson for somebody to create in the present moment. That's really what it comes down to, is being able to let go of your fears and to trust. You also have another 5 here. So you're going through some type of huge change is really what it comes down to. There's a massive change that's taking place for you. And it's like shaking your foundation, but also making you see something from a different perspective, but seeing it from the here and now, not seeing it as it was yesterday, not seeing it as it was in the future. Like you're letting go of that anxiety. You're letting go of that, like, it's like you're trusting whatever's taking place, even though it's uncomfortable. Like you're trusting whatever it is that's taking place, which is great. You're at some type of a completion, for sure. It's some type of a completion. It could be of an old cycle I keep getting pulled back to. And again, it could have to do with your foundation, especially because your feet are being lifted off the ground, but you're trusting where this is taking you. And it's like there's something that's going to come through where it's like a 4-leaf clover. Like it's a luck. Like there's something lucky, really. And then you have the action card here. So again, you're going to take action towards something. You go from 9 to an 8. So it's like you're pulling back. You're taking action. You're feeling guided. You feel guided to take some type of action. Woman holding a heart could have to do with emotion, walking away from what no longer serves you. 44 foundations. Another 9, that's a completion. You're walking away and you're listening to your heart. Like you are taking what you feel in your soul and you're putting it to action finally, because you have some type of a release that takes place that allows you to do this. And you're walking away from something that no longer serves you. And it could be just walking away from like old thought patterns. Like even though you have a lot of emotion for something, it's like you're balancing the emotion within yourself. Like you're full of love and you're full of abundance, and that's good enough for you. That's beautiful. This is also like a recognition of like where somebody finds home. Like, because you can find home in an actual house. Like maybe you're struggling with like, maybe you have to move, or maybe you are moving, or like you know that the time is coming where it's like you're going to have to leave the place that you're in, but like it's a home to you because you've made so many good memories there, or like you have so much attachments to like whatever it is that's there that you include in the definition of home, but you're relearning what the definition of home is, and you're actually finding it within yourself, within your soul, and you're letting go of that anxiety and that fear of like not having the same material, like the same like foundation that like you grew up with. Like there's some type of a disconnect that's taking place that's actually a release. Even though it's very uncomfortable, it's a release, which is something that you need for your healing. And then you actually have storm warning. But it came up in reverse. Like, I saw it in reverse, which means I'm going to leave it in reverse and just take that into consideration. Because something either already took place or this is, you're coming out of it. But this is an energy that caused you to take action, or it ignited some type of passion in you. It ignited like something in your heart, like in your heart space. But it's like you're walking away from it because you're like, I'm not going to give into like whatever this is. So you literally go from 9, 8, and then you have 9, 10. And I think that's very interesting. Then you have 44 in the middle. This could be thoughts too, like anxieties about not knowing what to do. Yeah, crown chakra. So this is all like in a headspace. Like, this is anxiety, this is thoughts, these are like old conditionings even. Like, I'm like kind of stumbling over my words, not gonna lie. And then at the bottom of the deck, you actually have a man holding a heart. Interesting. Healer of the Ages at the top of the deck, Angel of Strength underneath. There could have been something that you were afraid to take action towards. But it's like you're letting it go. You're not focusing on the past. You're aware of this other person. If it's another person, you're aware of it. But it's like you're walking away from something. You're moving forward from something. And it has to do with your foundation. I'm going to have to pull cards to actually get more of a story on this. Because it's very cryptic. There's some reluctancy to do something. I don't know if somebody's going to offer you a place to stay. Or if, like, I don't know what the hell that is. It's like the both of you are taking action towards something, but you're walking away from some type of chaos that took place, or some type of disruption. You're walking away from it. And you're detaching yourself. You're like detaching yourself from something that no longer serves you. And it could have been like a mindset, conditioning, family stuff. Like, you see a higher purpose for something, but I don't know who this other person is, because it's like there's like remnants of their energy, but it's like kind of secretive. Like, they're not coming through very clearly, but it's obviously here. That's not what I wanted to do. Let's drop my cards. Give me 1 second here. Oh my gosh. Okay. Now, this doesn't have to be about another person. This could just be solely something that you're working through within your own mind. Whether or not you take action towards something, whether or not you follow your dreams, you follow your passion. But either way, there's an energy here where it's like you're choosing to walk away from something because it's like you've learned some type of a lesson. Like, you're not partaking in whatever this chaos is, because it's like you're seeing it from a bird's eye view, and you're seeing it and you're like, okay, like, I don't have to... This isn't my circus. Like, this isn't my circus to take care of. And it's like you see a higher perspective for something, even though there's like some type of chaos attached to it. It's very chaotic energy. But I feel like it's releasing. Especially with the storm warning card being in reverse. I feel like it's releasing. Cherry blossoms are very significant. The color pink is also very significant. I know it's very cliche, but it's the truth. It's right here. Green too. There's an emphasis on butterflies as well. It's big transformation. Okay, Tower card came out and the Three of Cups, but not the way that I like it, but I just thought that I'd consider that. And sorry if that was loud. It just is what it is. Scorpio, this is very complex. There's an energy that's being completely 100% guided towards something. And it's like a cat and mouse. Like, this is like a cat and mouse game. If you're dealing with another person, it's like a cat and mouse game. But it's whoever is walking away from something because you closed out a cycle, like, you would instantly know whether or not you are at the end of, like, a hard karmic cycle. Like, maybe you've been living, like, in the cycle for a very long time. Like, you would have had some type of a tower moment that would have released it, and you would have, like, your perspective would have just been, like, fucking shook. And you would have been like, oh my god, like, what? Like, my whole entire, like, perspective of how I, like, looked at this was, like, completely misconstrued it. Like, you would have all these realizations and stuff. So if that's not you, then this might not be your reading, or you might just be the other person. But there's something about a masculine and a feminine, and this is either within yourself, could be dealing with an Aquarius energy, especially with the way that that card just flew out. You have the King of Swords. So this is like logically taking action towards something. Like you're making a head over heart decision. Despite the woman holding the heart and a man holding a heart, there's some type of cycle had to get wrapped up. And she's looking right at him. So you could be in your feminine energy right now, and if you're in feminine energy, you're walking away from something. And whatever this is that you're walking away from does not serve you anymore. It actually kept you stuck. It kept you feeling bound. But see, the feminine energy has mastered the ability to be serendipitous. I might have mispronounced that, so don't judge me. But this feminine energy mastered it. Like, mastered the ability to live in the present moment, mastered the ability to ground, to stay grounded, but then to also not be afraid to take a risk. And this other energy is like lacking strength or needs strength. Because there's a lot of emotion. There's a lot of reflection. I feel like if you are connecting with another person, you definitely don't have contact with them right now. And that's because this person's reflecting. And because you made a logical decision to walk away from them. Like, you made the decision to not pay attention to whatever it is that they're doing and just do your own thing, which is what you should have done, honestly. Because why should you waste your time waiting for someone to come back around? Like, just not cool. Like, you don't want to waste your time doing that. Especially if that person's, like, unresponsive. Now, going in hermit mode is different than being unresponsive, because when you're in hermit mode, you're actually doing the work on yourself, and when you're unresponsive, like, God only knows what you're doing, you know what I mean? Like, just not talking to somebody is just arrogant. Especially if you know that you have to, like, work something out between you and that person. So somebody's a very logical thinker. This person could have strong air in their chart. Very logical, very get shit done, action-oriented, knows how to take action towards something, but also is very logical, a thinker. Somebody thinks things through. The World card, wrapping something up. Something came to a completion. Could be dealing with a fixed energy who is very guarded. This person's very fixed. And when I say fixed, I mean not a lot can change their perspective. Like, they're the only people who can change their perspective. Like, when you're dealing with a fixed sign, it's like it takes a lot for them to come to the conclusion to themselves that they need to change their perspective or that they need to take action. Like, they're not going to take advice off people very lightly. They're going to be like, Scorpio, you're a fixed sign. So is Taurus, Leo, and Aquarius. And there's a stubbornness here. Three of Cups. So somebody decided to walk away from a reconciliation because they weren't getting anything out of it. But somebody also felt like they needed to defend themselves or protect themselves. And this person made a logical and rational decision. And that is to protect their heart. And so they wrap something up very quickly. I'm getting a deer in headlights. So the other person might not have seen it coming, or like they weren't aware of something. And it's like the feminine energy's been watching this person the whole time. But this masculine's just been kind of like dazed and confused, just came to me. Like dazed and confused. Like, I don't know if you're dealing with somebody who's like a stoner or something, but they're like dazed and confused. Like, wow, I think that's interesting. The Queen of Swords in reverse just popped out. And it like rolled over on its side. So it wanted to come out face first. It wanted to come out face up. I'm sorry. I'm just stumbling all over my speech. So I think there's a communication issue going on because like I don't typically stumble over my words a whole lot, but you're dealing with somebody who understands how you are despite what you think. There's a lot of masculine and feminine energies being balanced. So don't get fixated on the fact that there's a masculine and a feminine in the card. This could be all within you. Okay? Like, I don't like seeing comments that I get sometimes that are super, super negative, and it's just because people are upset that it's not their story. This is a generalized reading. Not everything is going to resonate with you. The entire reading might not even resonate with you. There are plenty of others on YouTube who are exceptional at what they do, and they give amazing readings. So definitely check out some other people and see if you can find anything in their readings, you know? Like, I'm just here because I want to be here, you know? Like, I want to, like, read for people. Like, it's what I want to do. So, you know, don't attack me. like, I'm not a fan of that. And I oftentimes stay quiet about stuff like that because I usually don't let it bother me. But a couple, like, recently, I've actually gotten some pretty offensive messages left in my comment section, and I've had to take them off my channel entirely because they're just like hateful, and it's like I don't understand that at all. So I don't know why I felt the need to bring that up, but maybe somebody like lashed out at you, or yeah, there's something connected there with like harsh communication. I'm so sorry. Excuse me. I don't know if there's like something with harsh communication, but it's like somebody's very guarded with their heart space because they feel that that's what's right for them. And they're not going to let anybody like just come in and like fuck with their shit. Like, they're going to like protect themselves, and like they want a reconciliation, but they're not afraid to walk away from something because they're very comfortable with who they are and what they stand for. And that's very powerful, and that might have like blew this other person's mind if you're dealing with another person, because this other person was not expecting that. Because it's like even though you're dealing with somebody who's very balanced, or you're very balanced, like you're very mature, you're very balanced, you're very logical, you know what it is that you need to do, you want something, but you know that you can walk away without a problem if you need to. It's like being available and knowing when to give and when to receive, and knowing when to be there and when to walk away. And that's like a valuable lesson that somebody could have just learned and stepped into. But this other person is just like, okay, now I have to take action towards something, because the feminine energy clearly wrapped something up and walked away from something or someone. And because they chose to walk away for their highest good, for their benefit, because they learned like a beautiful lesson in being in the moment, being present in the moment, being happy with themselves in the moment, not thinking ahead into the future, not dwelling on the past, but being right here, right now. And that's beautiful, to be completely honest. There's some type of an insight that's going to come in, though. It's like an awareness and insight, like something's going to come through. You're going to get like an intuition bubble burst, like something's just going to come through and you're going to get it. And it could involve a lot of change because there's another 5. So if you're the feminine energy and you're going through a lot of like foundational changes, like I mean significant changes, like your whole life is changing, basically. Like 5s are very hard changes, abrupt changes, like things that you don't see coming a lot of times, at least in my experience. But these are also things that are like developmental, like platforms for you to like grow. And they help make a new foundation even though they tear some old ones down. You're dealing with somebody who's coming in exactly as you're coming in. And that's why I'm getting so confused, because you're mirroring somebody to a T. And I know that I've been picking up on this for quite some time now. But it's like, I don't know why hide and seek just came to me. Like hide and seek, like the game that kids play. It's like a hide and seek type of energy. Because there's a feminine energy who is willing to reconcile, who is willing to, like, they want to celebrate, but there's something that's not quite clear to this person yet, and they walked away, and they weren't giving to this other person anymore because they know the value within themselves, and this other person's like, oh shit, like, I gotta take action, I gotta do something, because the King of Swords takes action, and the King of Swords is actually sitting next to the man holding a heart, and then the Queen of Swords is over here by the woman holding a heart, and it's like they're both looking right at each other, and this masculine's right underneath the action card. So I guess while the more that you live in your own space of just taking care of yourself, the more likely something is for it to come through, because again, this is just energy. It's not like a definite, like, this is just that the energy is present for something like this to take place. Yeah. But see, like, the feminine energy on this end walked away from something because they knew that they had to. Because they weren't getting anything out of it, even though this person knows, like, hey, I know that you can match what I have. Like, they just were like, yeah, you're not ready, I guess. You're not ready for this. So they move forward, and this other person's like, oh shit, gotta get my horse and get on my horse. Like, I don't know how to explain it. This person's very logical, very disciplined, very militant, very, like, structured. Like, this person does not do anything that they don't decide to do themselves. So they probably don't even talk to their friends about what it is that they want to do, because they keep things in their head and they logically process them over and under. And it's like, you're sitting here with these two cards. It's like, this is somebody who has a lot of emotion, but they don't let it show. Like, this person is very stoic. A very, very, very stoic person. But there's serendipity here. And I wonder if it's on the feminine side or if it's on the masculine side. Or if it's both. Because those are very playful cards for them to come out. And especially with the serendipitous, that's like a wish. Like a wish. Like, this is somebody's wish that's coming through. And I don't like giving out messages like that, because sometimes people take it, like, so literally that they don't, like, they lose touch with reality. And, like, I'm not trying to be mean to anybody, but, like, you got to keep one foot in reality and, like, think about, like, what does your soul really want? Because there's something present that needs awareness, but it takes being still in the moment to see it. And it's something that you've walked away from. And it's like, you're not afraid to walk away from it because you know your worth. And it's like, because you know your worth, you're not afraid to be by yourself. You're not afraid to walk away from this person, even though you're aware of the connection. You're not afraid to be by yourself. Like, you're like, hey, come at me. I'm not taking your shit. Like, I'm not taking your bullshit. And that kind of, like, floored this person, because I don't think this person ever kind of experienced that in their life. Like, I don't know, there was some type of, like, a wake-up call. But there was a cycle that's been wrapped up, a chapter that's been closed. And it could have had to do with some defensiveness, some being guarded, you know, like, kind of just, like, somebody's ready to, like, knock out competition. I think that's very interesting. Like, they're happy to, like, defend something. Like, this person's, like, happy to, like, take on a challenge. Somebody likes the challenge is really what it comes down to. And somebody feels guided towards something. Like, there's somebody being guided. Somebody feels very connected to birds, and they see them as, like, their guides. And then another person's very connected to, like, butterflies, and they see that as their guide. So pay attention to that. This person, though, this masculine, whoever's in masculine energy, needs strength to take action, because they're cutting through cycles. just like you are. But see, you're a little bit ahead because you've already learned something and that you have an awareness to something. This is like the High Priestess card for me. So it's like you have an awareness of something, but you're definitely not taking anybody's shit. And then you have the Page of Cups on the bottom of the deck, and you have the Nine of Swords at the top of the deck. So this tells me that there's definitely somebody who has anxiety about reaching out. Like, somebody's afraid to reach out. They have anxiety. They're, like, losing sleep over it. Like, they want to offer an apology, but they don't know how. And it's all just, like, their own thoughts getting in their way. So this person lives in their head. Whomever it is, it could be you. Like, you could be somebody who lives in your head. But this is more, like, of another energy that's kind of coming through. But it's like they don't want to show themselves, but they're there. But they don't want to show themselves, but they're there. It's like you would be picking up on this person's energy, or like you would feel this person's energy, and it would kind of like throw you off a little bit because you'd be like, what? Like, what is this? Especially if you're like a really high, like I almost just said, what did I, really high something. I don't know where I was going with that. But if you have like if you're tapped in and tuned into your own abilities, like if you're a strong empath, like you would know like whose energy this is, because you love this person and this person loved you. There's a connection. There's an obvious connection. Obvious connection. There is some distance. There's like travel time. But this is also not being afraid to manifest your true desires. You know, like not being afraid to manifest something. Like, I'm literally just seeing the Wheel of Fortune, but like the game show, the Wheel of Fortune. So, like, this Queen of Swords is, like, not afraid to cut it. Like, this Queen of Swords is not afraid to cut anything out of her life. Like, she will cut out whatever she needs to cut out in order for her to live her purpose. Like, if you push this queen far enough, like, it'll come down. Like, it'll be a chop. And this person knows, like, they could have been in and out in the past. But see, there's love there. So it wouldn't have been, like, in and out. But maybe somebody was just non-committal. But, like, somebody's recognizing something, and they have anxiety over reaching out. Like, there's serious anxiety over reaching out. But they know that they have emotion towards something. They know that they have to take a leap of faith. And I felt that. The Nine of Wands and the Ten of Swords. Like, this person just doesn't want to battle. Or they're exhausted from battling. Or they've been through a lot to get to where they are. Like, you have the World card with the Ten of Swords over top of it. So I really feel like this is, I just heard deflated ego. A deflated ego. I've never heard that before. Deflated ego. I don't even know what that means. Maybe somebody got a check, like, with their ego. Like, just something put them in check. But something, like, really took a lot out of this person. Like, they have 2 9s. Like, they have 2 9s and then a 10. So they're at a cycle, too, within themselves. Like, they just closed something out of their life. And it could have been, like, their own... Like, they're letting something of themselves dissipate. Like, the armor that they wore to, like, the outside world is just dissipating. It's done. They're done with being stabbed in the back. They're done with feeling like they're, you know, battling other people's stuff. Like, they're tired. They're done. Like, they're very... Like, this person will fight, don't get me wrong, they will fight, but it's like they've been through some shit. So emotions just might be hard for them. And I'm not making excuses, I'm just saying this person's been through a lot. They've had a lot of, like, stabs in the back. Like, this person's had a lot of blows in their life. And you might not be aware of it. Yeah, 5 of Wands. Yeah, somebody's not afraid to fight. Like, they're exhausted, they're tired, but they're not afraid to fight. This person's going to come through because there's something about... There's some type of competition, some type of competitive energy. I don't know if this person feels like you have a lot of competition. but it's like a battle for them to get to you. Or it's a battle for this person to connect with you. Or it's a battle for you to connect with yourself, to end something, so that you can begin something new, so that you can live serendipitously, like, so that you can just be free within yourself, like there's some type of a battle. Way too many cards. Oh my goodness. Like, way too many. That's supposed to stay out. Way too many cards. Way too many cards. It's like 15 cards. It's 5 of Cups. Oh, geez. So there could be a situation here where somebody realizes like what they've been missing, or they realize what they've walked away from in the past, and it's like, wow, like I could have had this in the past, but now I have to like go through all of this to get this back. Like there's a realization of like, oh, holy shit, I have been focusing so much on the things that I have lost and what I have suffered, and I've been so depleted in my own energy that I haven't even seen what's been right in front of me. Feeling like you missed an opportunity, or them feeling like they missed an opportunity, like they missed an opportunity to reconcile or to like come back together. Or maybe they have like a fear of like that's not there anymore, where they're like, I don't know if she'll take me back, or I don't know if he'll take me back, or I don't know if she'll even talk to me, or I don't know if he'll talk to me. Like, I don't, like, because you're sitting here as the Queen of Swords, and they're coming in as the King of Swords, and then you're the woman holding a heart, and they're coming in as the man holding a heart. So you guys are matching each other's energy, so they know that you're not going to take their shit. That's the thing, is that they know that no matter how many feelings, they know how, like, no matter how much you feel for them, you're going to put yourself first. You're going to love yourself first. You're not afraid to cut them out. Yeah, Queen of Cups reversed. And see, the woman holding a heart and the Queen of Cups are kind of like that similar energy to me, where it's like this person sees a foundation with you, or you had a foundation with this person, and they know that you can turn that off real quick. Like, you can shut your emotions off real quick. So you actually might be a little bit defensive when this person comes in, because you have so much emotion for them, and you're like, hold on, like, I'm not doing this again. Like, we've been through this in the past, we've done this in the past, like, I'm not doing this with you again. And they know that you have the ability to, like, turn that emotion off. Like, you know, like, they know that you could either cut them out, or you could choose to nurture it. And they're asking you to use your intuition. Yeah, Hangman. So the Hangman flew all the way over here, which tells me that this person changed their perspective. The masculine energy, whoever is in masculine energy, changed their perspective, because they have a lot of anxiety about approaching you, and it could be offering or trying to offer you an apology, but it's like they know that they have to change their perspective on like feeling like they're just so beat down, feeling like everything's ending. Like, this person has a very like, even though they're very structured and very disciplined and very well put together on the outside, this person inside is like falling apart. Like, their mental brain cannot fathom the fact that they just like fuck this up. Like, and I hate to put it that way, but like that's kind of how I'm seeing it. It's just like, wow, like I missed an opportunity that was right in front of me. But then they also admire you at the same time, because you're not afraid to walk away from what no longer serves you. It's like this person was like, wow, like so-and-so's self-worth is amazing. Like, they value that in you. But then they're kind of like, oh shit, well, is she even gonna like give me another chance, or is he gonna give me another chance? Like, are they gonna give me another chance? Like, who knows? But I feel compassion. That's the thing, especially with the 7th chakra card here. I feel compassion because this feminine energy sees something coming, and they are also the Queen of Cups. It's like an exterior shell. Like, this person has a lot of emotion. There's a lot of compassion, a lot of sympathy, a lot of understanding. But there's also like that whole like, I'm not afraid to walk away if I have to. Like, Eight of Wands, 9 of Cups, 2 of Cups. Communication's coming in one way, shape, or form. Somebody is a little bit arrogant, though, and I think it's the masculine energy. They know that there's a wish fulfillment here, but there's something arrogant about the energy where it's, like this person has to go through a little bit more of a transformation in order for that to kind of dissipate, but they recognize that there's something, they see value in a connection, they see longevity in a connection, like there's something long lasting, there's a wish fulfillment within a connection. And it also is a connection that involves loving yourself in the process, which means that both people in the situation, if you're dealing with another person, both people had a very hard lesson when it comes to self-love. Like you both had to learn how to love yourselves. And that is like, it's like a mirrored image of like, okay, self-respect, self-respect, self-love, self-love. Like the feminine energy is just a little bit more forward and more ahead of the game, quote unquote, when it comes to it. But this masculine energy is realizing it, but it's like they're going to come at you a little bit off. There's going to be something a little off with it, but you're going to meet them with the Queen of Pentacles. You have the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Queen of Cups all out at once. So you are the Empress. Like you're sitting as the Empress energy. So like you're dealing with somebody who's coming in more logical, definitely more logical, but definitely more like, I'm going to look very well presented and I'm going to put myself together and I'm going to come through and I'm going to try and communicate this. But on the inside, they're kind of like having a meltdown. Because they're like, oh God, how did I do this? What did I do? This person's not nurturing me anymore. But see, you're going to turn around, you're going to meet this person with the Queen of Pentacles energy, which means that you're going to come in very stable, very grounded, very realistic, very in control of your emotions, and very logical. But you're not afraid to like cut them out. And see, that's the fear that I think is kicking in, because this person knows that you're not afraid to cut them out of your life. Like you're not afraid to drop the sword on them and be like, hey, this isn't good for me anymore, so I'm going to move forward. And they know that. So the fact that you're coming in as the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords is actually very balanced. Like you're very balanced. Like you have all the queens on one spot. Like I'm surprised the Empress just didn't come out. This person could have been a player. Like very in and out, very non-committal. Like there's something very non-committal, like I want everything for me type of energy. Like this person just wanted to like live their life their way and like be non-committal and have like all the options given to them. But they're realizing like, oh shit, I have a connection here. Like I can't avoid this. I'm seeing like a ribbon, like a yellow ribbon. Hermit card. Somebody did some soul searching. Somebody made a decision. Yeah, somebody's soul searching. Definitely soul searching. And they're trying to figure out like where does their loyalty lie? Like where does their heart lie? Where are they being guided? This person, despite their nature, they're very wise. And I think that the facade that they might have put on in the past was like an armor of protection for them, because then people wouldn't see the real them. But see, there's an energy with you where it's like you see right through all that bullshit and you're like, you know what, I know it's a facade, I know what you were doing, I know what you've been doing the whole time, and I'm not afraid to walk away from it because I'm not playing games. You know that there's a connection, but you're not afraid to walk away from it. And this person has anxiety because they're like, oh shit, like I gotta get my shit together. That's kind of how I see it. So I do feel like this person is soul searching, and I feel like your best advice in this situation is to also soul search and to make sure that, you know, what is it that you really want? Because you're also in the process of going through some significant changes, because you've just completed cycles in your life of stepping into serendipity yourself. Like you're learning how to be present in the moment still. And because you've mastered that and you're still in that, it's like keep soul searching. Like don't come out of that hermit energy just yet, but just know that the energy is coming towards you. So this energy is coming towards you. That's really what it comes down to, because they changed their perspective on it. But they need strength to overcome their own fears. That's the thing, is that they have strength. They have strength. I just said that. That's funny. So maybe they do have strength, but they need that strength to kick in for them to do this. And then it's funny because on the bottom of this deck, you actually have Imagine, which tells me to keep your mind on the positive things, like have faith in a situation and have hope for a situation being for your highest good. Meaning, don't fixate on this person. If you know who it is, don't fixate on them. But know that the universe has exactly what you need coming towards you. And use your best discernment, use your best judgment, because again, sometimes we get stuff that gets thrown our way that's actually like, oh, hey, did she learn this lesson, or did he learn this lesson? I'm going to throw this person at him and see, do they know their self-worth, or did they get that point? Like, be careful, and use your discernment. Use your best discernment. That's why the Hermit's here. Keep a vision for what you want your life to look like, and have faith that no matter what happens or no matter who the person is, you're going to get what you deserve anyway, because it's pure. Like, it's pure unconditional love. Like, you're going to get what you get. Like, it's bound to happen. It might not be with the person who you think it's supposed to happen with, but you're going to be emotionally fulfilled in the end because you know your worth. And that's what it comes down to. Because if you're chasing after a connection and you're the one chasing it and you're like, why aren't they talking to me? Why aren't they doing this? That's karmic. That is karmic. You need to allow space for new connections to come in to you. Don't chase after them. Because all the things that you're chasing after that you just can't get a grasp on, and you're like, like, why can't I, like, why do I just keep chasing after this person? It's because it's karmic. It's karmic. Like, just know that as soon as you let that go and you open yourself back up to receive, you're gonna receive. It just might not be the way that you think it's going to be. See what I'm saying? So I hope these messages helped. Thank you all so much for your support, and I love you guys so much, and I can't wait to connect with you again soon.